Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And we have a lot to talk about. There's a lot going on behind HEDERA that Hbar holders are just not aware of. And we are going to be addressing that in this video. So stick around until the end of this video because there's a lot of information that I'm going to be going over in this video. But one thing that I want to say before we dive on in is one, I hope that you are all having a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are out there in the world. As we look at HEDERA, right now, price action in the last month is looking good. We're still up about roughly almost 35%. In the last year, we're up about roughly almost 114%. Hbar has been one of those big projects that have been really in my portfolio for a while. And I've also been focused on HEDERA for so long now. I think it's been over almost like, it has to be close to 4 years at this point. I definitely know that it's over 3 years. And it continues to impress me every single damn day. In this video, there's a lot of information outside of just like the network that we are going to be going over, because every single time that we do talk about HEDERA, or most of the discussions around HEDERA, is transactional demand, because in the last roughly 5 months or so, almost 15 billion.12 transactions have been pushed over the network. And this is absolutely insane, but also even account growth has been tremendous on HEDERA. Announcement after announcement, there's a lot going on. But there is a project that a lot of people are not focused on, and there's actually a category that HEDERA is disrupting that a lot of people are not focused on right now. Before we continue on, I just want to let you guys know that the free Discord just got a massive upgrade. There is so many free insights in here, so much free content. There's a ton of discussions happening every single day. This is a Discord that you guys need to be a part of, especially as we are starting the new cycle for altcoins. And I'm talking about alt season. Before it officially begins, you need to jump in here because there's going to be a lot of content, a lot of information all posted within here, all for free. Click the link down in the description below, as well as in the comments below, to get access today to a ton of great insights and information behind crypto. Now, with that being said, let's go over here. So back in 2022, it was actually June, I started talking about Neuron World very heavily on X. And in fact, I actually made a video regarding this, and I said that the transactional demand is endless, because as we look at Neuron World, this is a project that could very well bring trillions, yes, I said trillions, of transactions to HEDERA in a very, very big way. Things right now are progressively going more and more digital, but the question remains, what happens when physical stores are no longer a thing? Because that's their overall goal. A lot of these stores are now pushing the idea of you could shop online and we could pretty much just deliver things to your house, just like Amazon is doing. That's pretty much the future around shopping. But you can't just have all of these people delivering, products 24/7, 365. We need to reinvent the wheel. So what is the next big thing? Well, it's drone deliveries, which is already happening outside of the US in specific areas. This is something that is probably going to become a much bigger thing in the future. But what do we need in place? Well, Neuron is solving it, which we will talk about. But it's not just drone deliveries, which we will talk about as well. But I said I can honestly see the day in the not so distant future where Amazon is utilizing Hbar for drone deliveries via Neuron World. The funny thing is that there isn't really any other DLT out there more suitable for the job than Hbar. The door this technology will open is insane. So let's talk about it. Over here we have HEDERA. Legacy IoT networks present a number of challenges addressable by Web3. Neuron World's DCENT solutions are positioned to revolutionize the connected economy, bringing trust, efficiency, and innovation to enterprises and users with HEDERA. And we have Neuron is building on the success of their pioneering drone tracking network to lead a transformation of service management with their decentralized service network infrastructure. And yes, they have a drone tracking network itself, but it's not just drones. I'm going to go over it. I've talked about it in the past, but I want to bring it back up because it is a huge use case. And I do think that if you hold Hbar, you should know about this use case. But we are currently proving how Neuron SDK can be used to enable an aircraft/drone tracking service network. Soon, you will be able to leverage Neuron to build your own DePIN network for P2P services. Check out our updated profile page on HEDERA. Now, this is the full-on page over here from the Neuron profile. And before I actually look at that, I do want to go over here to their website as well. So this is the everything map. Build, find, and connect services. And this is pretty much everything. It's not just drone deliveries, it's everything. If we scroll down, we can see what we do. Neuron is an open source public network for building, finding, and connecting services. Our mission is to improve the performance, cost, and robustness of service networks and to reduce the risk associated with using intermediaries. Neuron can support a range of DePIN use cases, including physical resource networks such as flight tracking, digital resource networks such as video streaming, and human resource networks such as food delivery. And yes, that's another big thing is food delivery. Guys, when we're talking about Uber Eats and, DoorDash, these are huge services that are utilized by millions and even billions of users. So when we think about how big the opportunity here is for Neuron, it's massive. And this is how it all works. You could see pretty much everything behind the scenes. You could see even the benefits as well. Here's the apps. They have some nice apps already. And here are the other use cases. So you have physical resources, digital resources, and human resources. Now, originally, how did I find Neuron? Well, they were looking at vaccine deliveries and medicine deliveries to homes. That's a huge use case. A lot of people can't actually go to the store and get their medicine, especially if they are elderly. So this is a big use case that is fundamentally revolutionizing specific things like delivery services or even just in-store shopping. But beyond that, over here, we got a full breakdown of this. So we have Neuron is building off of the success of their pioneering drone tracking network to lead a transformation of service management with their decentralized service network infrastructure. Their Web3 powered approach bypasses centralized control, directly connecting service providers and consumers. By leveraging DLT and smart contracts, Neuron fosters a secure and transparent ecosystem. $20 billion decentralized physical infrastructure, 2023 market cap, 2.7 billion tracked services delivery segments by 2026, and 3.5 trillion forecasted DePIN ecosystem market cap by 2028. And the best part about this being a major DePIN provider is the fact that when we look at the DePIN space, it is a venture capitalist's latest crypto obsession. We knew this back in the middle of April, and I'm pretty sure even right now, I know that a few of these categories are changing a little bit, but if we go to find, let me go to find. Let's go to DePIN. So currently speaking, the DePIN space is worth about roughly almost $9 billion. Trading volume is on the upswing. Again, HEDERA's not even listed here, just like HEDERA's not listed around the AI sector. It's comical, but there's so many major projects on HEDERA that are building around the DePIN space, even the AI space, and even the gaming space. And HEDERA is still not on any of these lists. And although, yeah, it's not fully centered out on these specific categories, there's a lot of projects on these lists that are not technically AI, gaming, or even DePIN focused, which is crazy to me that HEDERA is not on any of those categories. But regardless of that, let's go over here. And let's look at the challenges and let's look at the solutions. So the first challenge was Neuron tackles limitations of centralized service networks. These platforms control access, dictate terms, and capture revenues from the service providers themselves. By leveraging Web3 technologies and a peer-to-peer architecture, Neuron aims to create a more efficient, secure, and user-centric service ecosystem, empowering both providers and consumers. So Neuron is leveraging the HEDERA network and its services to construct a secure and scalable decentralized service network infrastructure to empower a more efficient and cost-effective service ecosystem by creating a decentralized network that cuts out intermediaries and directly connects service providers and consumers. Now, as we look at this, right, there's a full breakdown of what they're doing. We have the traditional service landscape is dominated by centralized platforms that act as intermediaries between service providers and consumers. These platforms, like those used by familiar names such as Uber, Bolt, and even DoorDash, while offering undeniable ease, are riddled with inefficiencies that squeeze both users and the provider at the other end of the transaction. They also take a significant cut from these transactions, limiting both innovation and impacting the customer experience, which I'm sure if any of you utilize DoorDash, I'm sure that you are aware of the absolute massive fees that they do charge not only you, but they also take money from the one who is delivering. They get a small cut out of the profits. So DoorDash and these other names are eating good, while those that are actually utilizing the service and delivering for these services are getting completely screwed. So as we look at this, right, like Neuron is changing the game all through the decentralized service network, which is going to be, in my opinion, a massive success if they are really kind of aligned with their vision and they achieve it. And this is all going to be very good for HEDERA. Remember, right? Like Neuron was one of the most incredible use cases that I fully focused on when it came to HEDERA. And even now, it is still becoming a much larger use case than most on HEDERA. And I'm very excited about this. Now, also remember that Neuron did quote the fact that, like, as we really look at HEDERA, they chose HEDERA because of specific reasonings. For example, the high throughput, the low latency network. It's all crucial for supporting the ever-growing demands of a decentralized service ecosystem. Its ability to handle a large volume of transactions efficiently is essential for applications like food delivery services or even video streaming platforms where real-time data exchange is vital. And think about the transactional flow here. It's not so much about how much value will be moved, which it's still going to be significant, but think about the volume of something like this. Like, we're here celebrating the fact that, like, oh yeah, like HEDERA is doing, 50 billion transactions already, and they're pushing like 15 billion transactions in almost a half a year. Like, yeah, that's great. But guys, that's just a starting point. And I try to get this through to you all as much as possible, because it really shows you how bright the future is when we are looking at use cases like this that could ultimately lead to trillions of transactions, which, yes, this will lead to trillions of transactions. It's all data at the end of the day, and Neuron always was focused on data, even around like airspace sensors. Think about the transactional demand. It is very, very exciting to say the least. And, from here, they already have a lot of major connections around their DSN, which is Decentralized Service Network. There's so many new use cases that could very well be not only found from something like this, but it could really provide a lot more names tapping into a service like this and building on HEDERA through Neuron. I'm actually very excited about something like this. I'm very excited about the future as well around a lot of these projects like Neuron, when they were, in my opinion, one of the first great names that started to build out on HEDERA. This is a project that I do think that everyone should focus on. It's one that I'm very excited about, and they continue to build, they continue to upgrade, and they continue to innovate beyond just their original offering. But also, as we really look at the DePIN space, when we look at a lot of these categories like AI, I do think that HEDERA is going to really kind of have a major explosion with them once they do start to really kind of bounce back in a big way, which AI has always carried the market so far this year and even last year. I do think that this is going to be a major trend. I also think that DePIN is going to continue to be a huge one, but HEDERA, considering the fact that it's not on these categories, I still think it's going to perform. I still think that HEDERA is going to be a big winner in all of these categories, considering the fact that, like, as we really look at HEDERA, not only are they fully embracing marketing, as well as, like, showing you like, hey, look at, we do have these use cases on HEDERA. Even though they're not including us on these categories, we still have these use cases. And even when it comes to like transactions, like, although HEDERA is not on those lists, you can look for yourself. The data is right in front of you. It still shows you like HEDERA is here to make its name known, and they will. And marketing is a big, big thing. So I'm very excited about this. I'm very excited about the future for HEDERA. And this is the number one reason why I do think that Hbar is really going to be a huge winner, regardless of how this market is, in my opinion, trying to suppress it. Maybe I'm wrong, but it just seems like HEDERA is one of those altcoins and one of those projects that just continues to get tossed to the side and ignored for some weird reason. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.